Hey y'all, okay, this is part 2. So we're going to finish this up. I'm going to wait for people to hop on. This is the wreath that I am making from my grandmother's notions that I got from her inheritance or over 30 years, almost 30 years ago. Excuse me. So I'm going to wait for people to pop on and I'm going to finish this up. So I probably am not going to put a bow or anything like that on it. I don't think that everything needs a bow. And so here we go, y'all. So we're going to I'm going to wait and see who's going to join me. And if you missed the first part, I'm going to link these two together so that you can see how we started. We walked down memory lane and hey Ruby, welcome back. So we did a little bit of history with some of the different hooks and eyes and snaps and a lot of different kinds of threads and notions, sewing notions. So we're going to finish this out. This is what we have so far. I have not decided how I'm going to hang it. It's starting to get heavy, so I want to be careful with the weight of this. And we're going to fill in the rest of this. And so here we go. So I've got some gold thread here. So we're going to let's see if I want to put this maybe up here. So I want to put a variety of sizes and a variety of colors. So I think we'll put these, and I'm going to use all this. So we're going to take, and we are going to, like I said, for those of you that are just hopping on, reconnecting. The threads, I've tested all the threads. The threads are no longer good for sewing, so I don't feel bad about putting the glue and gluing these on here. All right, so I'm going to leave this needle in here because I don't know how many times I have done my needles that way. So we're going to I'm just going to kind of go around this, and you know, if I get poked, then I'll take it off. But I'm just going to kind of fill in, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. And then we'll come back as we're going to get smaller and smaller with what we put on here. So this is what we have. So we started with the darning egg, and then we added all of these things with cards on them. The reason why I put the cards on here is because I like the fact that the prices were on here. So anyway, so here we go, and I'm just kind of mixing the colors. I want to make sure that there's a contrast. All right, so I like that. Maybe, all right, let's get one of these big blue ones right in here. All right, so we're going to just take, all right, this one's got a price on it, so I want to, I should have put that. So we're going to put the price right so that we can see it right here. And we're going to put it on top of the card with the needles. So how are you doing? Ruby, did you see the first part of this? I don't remember if I saw your name in the comments or not. Oh my gosh, y'all, I am loving this. These are all notions from my my grandmother's estate when she went home to be with Jesus. And so I'm having a really fun time just kind of putting all of this together. So this is what we have. We're going to keep going. And we're going to, all right, so I've got some green. Let's see what other colors we have in here. All right, I like this blue, so we're gonna pull some blue in here. I'm only gonna use, I like this one that's got like a partial All right, this is 19 cents. Look at that, 19 cents. You just don't find, I like this one that has like a partial, all right, let's see. Oh, we could actually put this up on its end. All right, let's see what we got here. I like that. Maybe we want to put that one out. We'll put, hold on, I just got to find the right spot for it. Maybe, all right, I like the 19 cents, so I'm going to take and I'm going to put this on here. I hope that paper holds. We're going to put that upright this way. And we're going to just keep going around. I want to get the colors of the thread in here to give us just a little bit of, I like my bright colors. All right, I don't want to put blue next to blue. So, and then we're going to come back. I've got some thimbles. I think I'm going to have to use something other than hot glue for, all right, so yellow, I like the yellow. We could put this, oh my gosh, this is 10 cents, so we want to be able to see that. All right, so this is going to be the bottom. So let me see how this is going to fit in here. Maybe that's not going to fit. Maybe, all right, hold on. I've got to find just the right spot for it. There'll be just the right spot. Maybe, but I do want the color to come through. This is like the best spot. I just don't know if it's going to stick or not. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try and see what happens. We're going to hold this in here. Hey, Sherry, welcome back. Let me show you what I got so far. Right now, I'm just kind of going through and adding the color, and I want to make sure, I don't know why I'm attracted to the prices on these threads and everything, but I am. This one I probably could have done a better job of leaving the price up on that. All right, so this is what we have. So this is like 10 cents, this one here, and it's yellow. I'm just trying to mix all of the different colors and get a good variety of colors in here. The blue, I think that maybe this blue will fit right here. So let me go ahead and let's see if I want to do it that way or this way. I think I'm going to do it this way. And like I said, for those of y'all that are just hopping on, these threads are no good. They are not going to hold anything, so I am not feeling guilty for putting glue on them. All right, I'm liking the way that oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Wait till I get this filled in. We're going to keep getting smaller and smaller pieces on here. This is heavy. This is getting heavy, y'all. All right, this one is no price, but it's another blue. She must have liked blue. There's a lot of blue in here. Let's get a green one. There's a green. There's another. That one's 15 cents. We want some 15 centers. All right, let's see what other colors we've got. Here's a green. Let's get some more green in here. All right, here's another 15 center. We will, I think what we're gonna do, because you gotta realize that these are woods, so they're gonna have some weight to them, y'all. How do I want to? Oh, I like that. Okay, I want to make it so that we see this green. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna attach that one here. And these just they kind of fall into place just as you go along. You just fill the spot. And how fun is this? I am having a ball. I'm having a ball. Okay, so we got some green in there. Now, there is no way in my head that I could plan this out. So I'm just a kind of wing it, do it as you go kind of gal. All right, so this green, I think we're going to put this here. How much is this one? This one doesn't have a price on it, but we're going to kind of, I'm putting the, all right, let's get this off of here. Make sure that this is, all right, so we're going to put this down. We want to, I'm trying to put these in different directions so that it gives it just a little bit of personality. And somehow I'm going to weave the tape measure in here. Oh my gosh, y'all, I am having so much fun. I can't wait. All right, so I've got to figure out what kind of glue I'm going to use for, and I don't have an answer to that yet, but what kind of glue I'm going to use for the thimbles, because they're metal. All right, this is 15 cents. All right, so I feel like I need to put something here, and I don't know what it is yet. This is too big. Maybe some buttons. I don't know. Maybe we'll just throw some threads in here. All right, hang on, y'all, because I feel like I need something. How about, we've got snaps, so I don't need snaps. All right, let's see what we got in here. Ooh. Where is, my grandmother tatted also. All right, here's another. This is a pretty modern one. This has got Singer on it. All right, let's, here's a small thing of snaps. Don't we have snaps? We've got snaps. Somewhere I have a, all right, I got all kinds of, oh, looky here. Looky here. But these are metal, so I don't know. She did some kind of needlework too. We've got, these are plastic though, so they're not going to be very old. These are like crochet needles and oh, here's a crochet hook. This could have been my mother's. This is a metal one. Oh, there's that word boy, B-O-Y-E. Let's put, I don't know, see, it's not gonna stay. What holds metal, Sherry? Are you still on here? What kind of glue is good for metal? I don't want to put something metal on here and then it's gonna fall off. I mean, I guess I could probably weave it in here somehow. Let me see how I can do this. All right, I'm going to have to hold off on that. I can come back and tuck that in somehow. What are these? All right, that's no good. We got tons of little tiny buttons that she had. Y'all remember the, anybody know what this is? Anybody remember what this is? This is a film. She had all kinds of just everyday, that's a film container that has, all right, so I need something there. And I think the best thing for me to put there is going to be, I think thread. I think color needs to go there. So that's what we're gonna do. So I need some big spools of thread. I don't have any really big ones. All right, here's a blue one. Let's get another blue in here. Hey, Brittany, come join me while I am taking my grandmother's sewing notions and threads and wooden spools and turning it into a wreath. Okay, here's some brown on here. That doesn't have a whole lot of high contrast, but we can make something happen with that. All right, here's some gray. I need a large spool of thread. Oh, looky here. Here's some ribbon that she did. There we go. We can do some of these empty spools. But we want to get some color on here. All right, this is not enough thread to do anything with. I have got a smorgasbord of stuff that, all right, so I think what we're going to do is we are going to do a mix of thread. All right, this is fast boiling shade white. She put some ribbon around here. So I think this is going to be good to go right there. So let's do that. We want to make sure that it touches the fabric. One of the reasons why I wrap, this is just a Dollar Tree wreath form, a metal wreath form that I wrapped in black fabric. And one of the reasons why I used black was for, you know, a high contrasting background. But I used the fabric so that I would be able to glue the pieces to the fabric. Because, you know, it doesn't, not everything always sticks to metal. All right, so we're going to come in here with this brown. And I'm trying to make it so that you can see the prices, because this is like, for those of y'all that are just hopping on, 15 cents. A wooden spool. So we're kind of like going down memory lane. All right, let me see how I want to do this. And this says 125 yards, size 50. Let's turn this over this way. Bell waxed, mercerized, I don't know what mercerized means, I'll have to look that up. Fast to boil, mercerized cotton. So I have to figure out which, I think I like that right there, even though the price isn't on there. And some of the, if you look at that, see how this is flared out? Some of these spools have like a flared out look to them, and some of them are just straight up and down. I'm guessing that the older ones have like the flared out look to them. Hey Nancy, come on in. I am taking some spools and sewing notions of things that I got from my grandmother almost 30 years ago when she went home to be with Jesus, and I'm turning it into a wreath. And so this is what I have so far. It's getting heavy. This is a darning egg for darning socks, and then we've got needles and This is called Cover Your Own Buttons up here. And I tried to, this is like 25 cents. I tried to make it so that we could keep the prices where people could see how much these things cost. Probably back in the, I would imagine some of this stuff goes back as far as, let me think, maybe 30s, 1930s, maybe 1920s. I don't know, but I can sure, you know, we can do some research. And then I'm going to come back. I've put the, hey Brittany, welcome. I'm Julie with Nothing Is Wasted Designs. So I put the big rocks in first. I started with the darning egg, and then I added some of these snaps and buttons and stuff like that. And so now what I'm doing is, I do too, Sherry, you know, and it just warms my heart that every bit of this belonged to my grandmother. So I'm just loving how this is coming together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep filling in. I'm going to fill in with buttons, and then I've got some thimbles. So Sherry, what should I use for a glue? Thanks, Tammy. Y'all that are really good with glue, what glue should I use to glue the metal thimbles? The hot glue gun's not going to stick to that. It'll stick to the fabric, but it's not going to stick to the metal. See, I got like a whole bunch of these thimbles. I want to put some of these on here. Now that I've gotten started, I just want to keep going and going and going, but I don't know what to use for. All right, so I got a big hole here, and I don't, you know what I could do? All right, hang on, y'all. Hang on, hang on. I think I got an idea. I think I got an idea. I could, ooh. Hold on, I'm thinking. I like this green over here, so I want to put this green over here. I could, all right, hold on. I think I got an idea. All right, let's take this tape measure. And let's see how I want to do this. All right, let me wrap this around my hand. I think I got an idea. I'm probably not going to use this particular tape measure. Oh, I need to start. All right, and I could. All right, so this is what I think I'm going to do. But I want to make it so that. All right, let me wrap it the other way. Let me wrap it this way, so that it ends with one. I think I got an idea, y'all, because I need something in that space there. But this might be a good one to weave through this too. So I'm not sure. The verdict's still out. But I could, yep, I could put a tape measure there. She's got plenty of them. Let's do the one that was made in West Germany. All right, hold on a minute. All right, so I'm gonna go, all right, hang on. I think I got an idea, y'all. Fabric may work, let's see, E6000. I've got, what is it, B7000 or something like that. I could use that. I could do that, because what I could do is, all right, I want to put this, I think this is what I want to do. I can do that like this, and then it'll say made in West Germany. And I could put that right, let's see how I want to, where I want to put this. All right, hang on. I haven't decided how I want to do this. Because I think that the West Germany, that speaks history. And so somehow, oh, you know what? We could probably fit this on here too. That might be what we do, is we could put that like right there. I'm kind of talking out loud. I'm thinking out loud, y'all. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I need to glue this together. All right, here we go. This is what we're gonna do. Hang tight. Hope I don't burn myself. All right, we're gonna glue this together. Ouch, 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 ouch. I need to turn this to low. It's too hot. All right, and then I'm going to just randomly glue this together in different spots so that it stays put. This is what I'm gonna do. This is gonna fill in part of this space. Yep. That's it. And I'm gonna just keep maybe doing each. Oh, I'm gonna get another glue stick. So we're gonna do a Friday night crafting. My husband was gonna come home tonight. You know, y'all know he's staying at at his mom's house. He's helping take care of her. She is in assisted living, and he is overseeing her care, and he is such a good son. He goes, he was there for, gosh, almost, there for a while. He was there almost every day. Now he was driving an hour and a half one way to go to work. And, okay, y'all, so this is what I'm doing, is I'm just kind of gluing this together. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but it's what I'm doing. I just want to make sure that it doesn't unravel. I'm probably not going to use this anyway. I have several, oh, it's hot. I have several tape measures. All right, but I definitely want to get the West Germany in there, because, you know, I don't know if they still have, how many people still have something like that. So I thought that'd be kind of fun. All right, we'll put this here. I don't know what I'm going to put on the back to hang it, but I'll figure that out. E7000. B6000 will work too, you think? I think it will, because I use it for rhinestones, so I think that'll work. I think that's a great idea. All right, then we're going to put this here. All right, here we go, y'all. I'm just going to probably could have done this a little cleaner, but I think we'll be okay. And I want to get all in between here. What I should have done is, as I wrapped it, I should have glued it. But hindsight, right? All right, so this is going to go, this is going to be perfect. Yeah, I like it going this way. So we're going to take, we're going to put this on here. And we're going to just let that stay right there. And the West Germany is going to be up top there. And, all right, so let me get y'all's opinion on something. This is kind of, I think this is like a rare tape measure because it's made out of fabric. Should I put this on here, or should I keep this in my sewing supplies? B7000. Yes, okay. Should I keep this in my sewing supplies? because of how it's made. What do y'all think? So all right, let me see. Should I put this in the wreath, or we'll either say wreath to put it on the wreath, or keep it with my sewing supplies as a memoir from my grandmother? Tell me what y'all think. There's a part of me that wants to keep that out, but I don't know. I think this yellow would look really nice. I don't know, y'all. I think this yellow would weave through here pretty nicely. I think I don't know. I think maybe I should put it on the wreath. Y'all tell me what I would keep that in my sewing box. Okay. Yeah, because it's, it's like all of these have like a little bit of a plastic coating on it, which tells me that this one's not very old. This one's got West Germany on it. All right, so I'm going to take and, how do I want to do? I think I like this side best. So we're going to take and we're going to add this here. I can tell by the way this is made that my grandmother made this. This is not from a store. I don't know how she got the plastic thing. Maybe she did get it from a store. All right, I'm going to hold this up in just a minute and show y'all. Yeah, okay, y'all convinced me. That's kind of what my gut was saying, is to keep the yellow one. Even though the yellow would really have a nice contrast with this, there's just something about, that's kind of special. I'm sure my grandmother, this is how they wore this is how she used it, She put it around her neck, and then when she wanted to measure something, she'd whip it out, and I can just see her doing that. So y'all kind of confirmed what I was thinking. All right, so we're going to put some, all right, I'm going to put this in here. Do I want green, or do I want another color? All right, hang on. I think I like the green, and we're going to put this. It's kind of neat because, I really didn't know how all of this was going to come together, but it just kind of like, the little nooks and crannies of everything just kind of fit together as I go along in each step. So I'm kind of glad that I just kind of winged it, and that's what we got. All right, so we're going to take, I think this one needs to go right here. We can still see all right, so there's our 15 cents. Maybe we want to turn this way. Yeah, I think we'll turn that one this way. All right, so that's got some brown to it. I'm not normally a brown person, but let's do this. I am so glad to get, y'all, I have got I think there were at least 12 boxes, maybe 20 boxes of stuff that you could weave it without damaging it. Then it would look, ooh, because of the color. That's an idea. I'll have to figure out. I might do that. And then I could take it off if I wanted to. So this will be the last thing that, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because I kind of like the idea of being able to look at it too. Because if it's in my sewing box, I'm not sewing right now. All right. All right, let me show y'all what I have so far. Look at that. Look how it's coming together. And I could make this, it doesn't have to be this at the very bottom. I could turn it, but this is kind of like the direction that it's going to go. Oh, y'all, I'm so excited. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. All right, and I like these buttons over here, how they move and they're still on the card. I don't know, there's just something about it that, I don't know, it just kind of it's coming to life for me. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So that's what I've been working on. If you can, okay. Thanks, Tammy. I am so loving this. All right, so now I've got this big spool here that, ooh, that might go right there. Hold on a minute. Not all of the spools have, look at how that has like that flared out flange, whatever you call it. I like that. But let's see what else we got in here. Oh, here's some smaller ones like it too. I think these are probably older, y'all. What do y'all think? See how it's got like, all right, so there's this kind of wooden spool. And then there's this kind of wooden spool. They're a little bit different. This has got a larger taper. And then there's this kind that's just flat. So I think these are not as old. I think that, I'm guessing that the ones with the big flare like that are probably the oldest. This says 15 cents. What does this one say? This one says 15 cents. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do you think? I think this one is not as old because it's almost like there's not as much wood. No, this says 10 cents. I don't know. I'll have to research it. We'll see. All right, so then I've got this blue here. Ooh, I kind of like that there. All right, let me see. I think I like that blue here. So I may, or the other, no, I don't want to put blue on blue. I think I want to put this blue one here. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Let's put, let's put the, where's the, oh, the price. There's no price on this one. We're going to put that one there. And so what I'm doing is I'm turning them in different directions so that you can see different aspects of the thread. Some you can see the thread, some you can see the top. Hey, Nancy. Thanks, Nancy. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining me. Y'all, I am having so much fun. I feel like a little kid in a candy store. My poor husband, he is so middle of the road. And I'm like really, really excited or really, really not excited or down. I'm like, you know, there's, you know, it's like everyone in our house church, they tell me I'm a go big or go home kind of person. I said, well, isn't that what it says in Revelation? You know, you got to be hot or cold. Doesn't say be lukewarm. So I fit the bill for that. All right, so this is what we got, y'all. It's coming along. Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna take a picture of this and put it on Pinterest and see how that goes. All right, so this one's gonna come over here. I want to make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. Ooh, this is kind of cool. I think, so I don't know if y'all are noticing or not, but like I'm putting the, this is really getting heavy. I'm gonna need like a wire to do it. I'm putting the threads in different positions so that we can see all different aspects of the, like see this here? Take a picture of that, a screenshot of that, and then look at it in a mirror. Thanks, Nancy. I am, this is all of my grandmother's stuff. And I've just been hoarding it because, you know, it was so precious to me. And I thought, you know, why am I doing this? I need to do something special with it. So this is what, this is my special. All right. All right, so I think I want to put this in here. So here we go. I turned this down to low because I kept burning myself. All right, so here we go. So if y'all, you don't dare, oh, I'm not selling it. No, 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 no. I'm talking about just putting a picture that I made it, that it was my grandmother's. Kind of like advertisement for my my page. No, this is not for sale. Nobody gets this but me until I die. Now, you know who would love this is my nephew, who Seth, who was living with me. I'm really liking how the threads are going in different directions. So now I'm trying to intentionally put more. And did y'all notice this one here? I'm like all over the place. See how I left the needle in that? How many times did we do that sewing? Put it right through the thread, right? I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but that's what we did, right? All right, so... All right, let me see. I feel like this lavender one needs to come in here somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm not covering up the 19-cent price thing. This is 10 cents. 10 cents. Okay, so maybe this one needs to, not sure. Maybe it needs to go like that. Yep. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take and, yeah, no, I'm not selling this for sure. This is, but my nephew, anything that belongs to the family, he's a huge legacy person. And when my mom and dad died, they went home to be with Jesus 10 days apart, 10 or 11 days apart. And anyway, oh, where was I going with this? Oh my gosh, y'all, it just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely use a wire to hang this with. Look at that. I did not know when I started this that this was gonna come out looking as cool as it is. All right, so I gotta do something over here. I definitely need to add some thimbles. I don't want to add too much stuff because I want to make sure that, you know, everything gets seen. So there's going to be like a balance. Ooh, looky here. We could put this over here. That'd be kind of cute. Oh, there we go. All right, here we go, y'all. I wanted to find something to do with all these wooden spools, but I never really did. So I think that this was the best thing that I could do. And I'm glad that I did. All right, so we're going to put this down in here. Oh, I tell you what, I highly recommend if y'all have like a whole bunch of threads and sewing stuff that are not, you know, the threads aren't any good, that you just start with the big rocks, put them in, and then start fitting everything else around this. I had at one point, I thought, should I do like rainbow colors? I thought, no, that's going to look too organized and too staged. So I decided I'm just going to put the colors on here however they go, and we'll see what happens. And so I'm glad I decided to do it this way. And then I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but one of the things that my grandmother did was, see how she wrapped ribbon around that? So I just left that on there. And I can't wait to show this to my husband. He's going to love it. And Seth is going to love it too. He loves anything that belonged to the family. We called, so Mark, our older son, named, my grandmother's name was Thelma. Her first name was Thelma. And Mark called her Great Gee. I don't know how he came up with that name, but he did. And so she was Great Gee, like G-E-E, I guess. And, all right, so I feel like this needs to go on here somewhere. I was concerned that I was going to have too busy, but I don't think it is, y'all. I think this is, I don't want that lavender. Let me see. Oh, this is a pretty color, but it doesn't have any contrast there, so hold on. I don't think anything's going to go there. Might be getting close to being done. No contrast against that black. Could go. All right, hang on. I'm thinking. All right, I think I like this. I think I like this big empty spool right here. All right, let me look and see if there's a better place for it. I really don't think so. I think this is where it needs to go, right here, y'all. All right, let's see what side I want to use. 50. Belding Corticelli, color white 50. Bell waxed. What does mercerized mean? Does anybody know what mercerized means? This has got better writing on this side, so I think I want to put it right there. I think that's where it needs to go, right there. And then we're going to put this down here, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I like that. I need some bigger, I'm looking at my stash over here. I need some bigger spools. All right, so maybe now is a good time. Oh, y'all, I love this. I absolutely love this. Cool, cool, cool. You just have to have the right stuff, right? Thanks for the heart, y'all. I'm so glad y'all came back on and joined me with this. All right, so this is what we have. I'm thinking I need to get the thimbles next. I think that's what I need to do next. I don't think I need a whole lot of buttons on here. And any buttons that I do use, I think need to be kind of selective. All right, so here we go. So this is my B7000. I could fill some like snaps, like individual snaps in the thing too. All right, let's see. All right, that's a good thimble. That one fits me well. This one's kind of small. I don't know. It's hard to pick because I want to keep... Oh, I forgot about the scissors. These little scissors. Hang on. Maybe not. Maybe too late for this. I don't know. That's metal. Maybe too late for that. All right, let me see. Let's pick these out. I like the one that's got like the little concave part. I'm going to save that one. Does it fit? This one doesn't even fit. I could put it on. I swear, you want to hear something that's really cool is when we went back to Wisconsin after my grandmother. So let me tell y'all a little bit about the history of her last days. So my husband had planned a trip for us to go to Wisconsin. It was me, my husband, well, it was my husband, our two sons, and me. And we had a timeshare and we could trade. And so we traded, what was it? It was like Fox something. Fox, I don't remember the name of the place. My grandmother knew everywhere in Wisconsin because, you know, she lived there almost, you know, almost all her adult life. And anyway, so we planned this trip. It was in June. Our younger son was 3. Our older son was 3 + 4 is 7. So, you know, we traveled. We made like a 2 or 3 day trip to Wisconsin. And then we had a week of, so it ended up being like a 2 week or 10 day vacation. And, you know, we stopped at all these parks so that the kids could play and, you know, get their energy out and everything. So we just kind of took our leisurely time. And my husband's he's really good at planning. I mean, I'm not a planner. I'm like, let's just hit the road and we'll stop wherever we want to stop. But he, you know, made plans to go to places like SeaWorld, and I don't even remember all these other places. And then we saw a former roommate of mine who was in Michigan. She lived in Kalamazoo, she still does, lived in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which was not too far from where we were in Wisconsin. And we were in Virginia. So we took like 2 days to get up there. And my husband's like, we both like to get off the beaten path and see what we can find that's different. So we took a lot of, you know, off-roads and things like that, and just, you know, had a really good trip up there. And so I think it took us about 2 or 3 days to get up to Wisconsin. This was almost 30 years ago. And anyway, so when we got there, we went to my grandmother's apartment, and she wasn't there. And we went, oh, no. So we called my aunt and found out that she was in the hospital. This was in June, and whatever year it was. Anyway, so she had congestive heart failure, and she had been having problems with her heart. And so we went and we ended up visiting her in the hospital. And I remember that Mark, I think it was Mark, had this elephant that it was like a purple elephant, stuffed elephant, and his tail had come off or something. So he asked my grandmother if she could fix it for him. And so we ended up, she never got out of the hospital. And I felt like that was going to be the last time we saw her on this side of heaven, and that's what ended up being the case. So, you know, we would go to visit her in the hospital in the morning, and then she would tell us, you've got to go do this, you've got to go do that, go here, take the boys fishing. What was the name of the place that she told us to go fishing? I don't even remember. But, so she was, you know, and then we'd come back in the evening and we'd tell her everything that we did, and, you know, she was all excited and everything, and so we ended up visiting her. The whole plan of the trip was to visit her, but we didn't know that the plot twist was going to be that she was going to be in the hospital, and that we were going to visit her in the morning and then at night. And so and we were there for a week. And I wish I could remember the name of the place. I've got pictures of the boys fishing in the stream. And then she told us about going to a fish boil. And I had never heard of a fish boil before, but she said, you're going to love it. And so what they do is they take, I think it's sturgeon whitefish out of Sturgeon Bay, and they boil the fish in this great big old cast iron cauldron. And the Viking, my grandmother said, the Viking is the one who sells the best fish boil. So she told us how to get to the Viking. It was up on Door County. And anyway, so we went, poor Adam, he was we also went to the Green Bay Packers Stadium. My grandmother had season tickets from, you know, the original, what was his name? Y'all who are football fans will know him. Oh, shoot. He was a famous football coach for the Green Bay Packers. And anyway, they had original tickets from the first Green Bay Packer stadium before they went to the new one. But so she told us to go to the Green Bay Packer Stadium. And this is so fun to tell you all this. And we did, you know, and it was like, wow, that was really cool and everything. But let me go back to the fish boil. So we went to the fish boil. They had potatoes. So what they did was they took, it was an open fire, and they heated the water, and it had onions and potatoes, and they would do the, I think they did the potatoes first and the onions, and then at last thing they put in the water was the fish, and they only cooked the fish for a little bit of time. And it sounds gross, okay? I live in Virginia near the coast, so I've eaten a lot of seafood. This was the best fish I have ever had in my life. It tasted like crab, but had the texture of lobster. So it was kind of a combination of lobster and crab. And anyway, so we had that, you know, of course we had the potatoes, and then they gave you dessert, which was homemade cherry pie. Well, cherry pie is one of my favorites. When I was growing up, my mom, you know, always made birthday cakes and stuff like that. And when I got to be about a teenager, she, you know, I was like, can you just make me a cherry pie? So every year my mom made me a cherry pie for my birthday. And then I learned how to make cherry pie, and I used to make my own, but I haven't made it in, gosh, who knows how long, because I cut a lot of sugar out of my diet. And, but, so we had this, oh my gosh, the cherry pie was phenomenal. And then the fish, they gave you melted butter to dip the fish in, and it was like eating crab, y'all. I love crab meat. And anyway, so oh, I put the initials up top, and I didn't even realize. That turned out pretty neat. So we went to this fish boil, and that was in Door County, Wisconsin. That was like a big vacation town in Wisconsin. And of course, then we came back and told her about it and everything. And anyway, so, you know, one of the times, you know, we left this purple elephant in the hospital with my grandmother, and we must have brought a needle and thread or something for her to sew this tail back. I mean, she made stuffed animals, she made, you name it, excuse me, she could sew it. And, anyway, so one day we came back, and she had fixed Mark's, I think it was Mark's elephant, because he was only, no, he would have been, it had to be Adam's, because Adam was only 3. Mark would have been too old. He would have been 7, almost 8 years old. I don't think he would have had a stuffed animal at that age. So it was probably Adam's. But anyway, so, you know, we got back to the hospital, and she had sewn this, you know, kind of like a rope tail back into the elephant. Adam was, one of the boys, whoever it was so excited, you know, he clung to it, and so that was pretty cool. So, and then of course she told us, you know, that we needed to go to the Green Bay Packer stadium and tour that, and we did that. And, you know, and it was like, she would tell, so we'd go there in the morning, and she'd give us our marching orders and tell us what we needed to do, or she'd tell us the night before, now tomorrow, this is what you need to do. 2 sisters, or twin rivers, I think Twin Rivers was where we went fishing. And the boys had, well, I don't think they caught anything, but they had a really good time with it. And, so that was what we did. And, you know, when we left, you know, we prayed over my grandmother, and, you know, and then, so that was like in June, like the beginning of June. And I think she went home to be with the Lord like a month later. She was alive just long enough for us to visit her one last time and have a wonderful, you know, memory with her. And it was quite a trip. And, you know, my husband, he's so good with planning. He was the one that made all of this possible. So, you know, I mean, God really blessed me with him. Sometimes I get on him, and I'm really hard on him. But, you know, it's, so I have to back off sometimes, because he's a good man, and, you know, We're just two very different people. I move fast. Well, I don't move fast anymore, but I think faster than he does. He's always processing stuff. When we were dating, you know, I figured out that he needs think time. He's an engineer. And you're not going to ask him a question and you're going to get a quick answer. I'm going to give you the quick answer. He's going to give you a thorough answer. And anyway, so it's kind of fun. All right, so I'm going to keep these out. So that's a little bit of the history of, you know, and then get this, y'all. So after my grandmother went home to be with Jesus, my mom and dad and I, because it was my mom's mom, my dad and I flew up to Wisconsin and to go to the funeral. And, you know, of course, then my mom had to go through all of her mom's stuff. Nobody wanted my grandmother's craft stuff. Well, while we were there, I tried a jacket on that belonged to my grandmother. She worked a retail clothing store for like teenagers. She dressed to the nines. I mean, she was an incredible dresser. She was the only one that when she bought clothes for us for Christmas that we liked, because she was really good at picking out stuff for teenagers. And, you know, so she always gave us really neat stuff. And I can remember we went up there one year to the store that she managed, the clothing store. It was kind of like Learner's, but a little bit higher quality than that. And we could pick out anything that we wanted. And I remember that was really cool. But anyway, so back to after she had gone home to be with Jesus, you know, I went with my mom and we went to another fish boil and talked my dad into going. My dad hated fish because he always got a bone. He always got a fish bone every single time. So we went to a fish boil. I said, Dad, you're going to love this. This is going to be the best fish. You're going to love this. I promise you, you're going to love. Well, sure enough, he got the bone. He got a fish bone. It's like, why does this always happen to you? So he didn't like it any more than he liked any other fish. But so while we were in my grandmother's apartment, I ended up trying on one of her jackets. I could not believe it. That jacket fit me like a glove. And at that point, it wasn't until after she had gone home to be with the Lord that I realized that my physique, my body style was a spitting image of my grandmother's, which I just thought was so, so cool. And so I got all of her clothes, her jacket. She had wool coats that were just, you know, really high quality wool coats. And they fit me in the shoulders, they fit me in the arms, they fit me all the way. And of course, if, you know, I need to lose some weight for them to fit the way that they're supposed to fit. But I never knew that my body type is identical to my grandmother's until I started trying on her clothes. So not only did I get all of her craft stuff, all of her sewing stuff, and notions and things like that, but nobody else could wear her clothes. It was a perfect fit for me. And so I still have like some of her stuff, but you know, it was, you know, some of the stuff was polyester that I don't wear, you know, people don't wear anymore. But I mean, even in her, even though stuff was outdated, you could tell that it was good quality stuff. Like I've got like a camel color wool coat that belonged to her. I've got a black wool coat that belonged. Now remember, she's in Wisconsin, so she's got really, really warm clothes. I'm in Virginia, and there's no need for anything quite that warm here. But all right, so that's a little bit of history of where all of this is coming from, y'all. All right, I feel like I need just a couple more. Where am I gonna put a thimble on here, y'all? maybe, all right, I've got to decide which ones I want, which ones I'm going to use. This one's not very, so how about that? A little old memory lane for me to go down, which was really cool. This one's kind of neat, but this one's got really good holes. I didn't know there were so many different styles of thimbles. This one is a newer one, but I might, all right, let me see. So there you go, y'all. A little bit of family history for you. I really don't see where these are gonna fit, to be honest with y'all. I may just keep these because I don't see, because I don't want to, oh, that one's not. If I put one thimble on here, I probably want to put 3 thimbles on here. And there is just not space. Maybe that one could go there. That one could go there. I may be done. The only other thing that I can think about doing is maybe taking some of these individual snaps or buttons. Maybe I need to put some buttons. I just feel like I should get a thimble in here somewhere. What do y'all think? Thimble yes or thimble no? I don't really see where they're gonna fit. I kind of, this one is really cool. I don't think I want that one on there. I don't know. I don't know what to do. All right, let me show y'all what we have. Thimble yes or thimble no? I kind of like this, like it is, y'all. This is what we got. Tell me what you think. I love this darner. I've got another one that that actually opens up and you can store a needle and thread. A thimble, yes? Okay. You can actually store, the one that I kept off of here, you can store thread in. A thread and a needle. All right, let me see where I'm going to put it. Maybe I want to put this one. Maybe I'll just put one on here. I've just got to find the right spot for it to fit though, because I really didn't leave a whole lot of space for a thimble. All right, hang on. I got to find the right spot. Maybe, oh, that's not bad there. That's not a bad idea. Oh, I could put it on top of the threads. Hold on. I don't want to cover up the West Germany, so that one's not going to go there. Oh, I could put one here. Let me see. No. I think if I put one, should I put 1 or 3 up near the pink spool with the needle? Ah, that's funny because it's not too far from that. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it or not. This is the one that I thought. It kind of fits right in there. How does that look right there? I think just 1. I think just 1. I don't think we need 3. All right, let me take this off. All right, this just kind of fits right there. It just is like perfect right there. I think that's it. I think that's the spot right there. So I'm going to put it there. And I think just 1. I don't think we need 3. I don't know why my grandmother has so many different, oh, that is so cool because that's like right up near the top too. All right, so here we go. I think we're going to do, yep, I like that one. Great idea. All right, so let me see. It just like fits perfectly right in there. It just like drops in that slot like it belongs there. So let me do that. This isn't one of her more fancy ones, but all right, let's see if we can get this. All right, I need to put like just a little dab of glue on here for a immediate hold. Let's see if that's going to work. Let me see. It fits, but it's not gluing. I got to make sure that this gets glued in here, because it's a perfect fit in there. Yep, I think that's the right place for it, Tammy. Good call. All right, I'll have to, and then I'm going to have to put, I've got some black wire. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to put some wire on the back of this in order, and I'm going to put all of these thimbles in my sewing supplies, because there's so many times I need a thimble, and now that I know I have these, I'm going to put them where they're going to work well. All right, so this does not have enough contrast. Let's see if there's anything else in here. This green might work. I don't need any more lavender. I like this green too. I don't know why I'm drawn to the green. I do love green. Green is a favorite color of mine. All right, let's see. I don't want to cover that up. Nope. Nope, nope. All right, so I think I'm going to stop with this. Y'all, I am loving this. Too bad these scissors don't have a spot on here, but they just, you know, you can kind of tell if it's going to fit or not. And just like that thimble went right in that spot there. All right, this is what we got, y'all. This is it. Let's see. And I'll figure out which, I think I kind of want the thimble to be up near the top. And then we have like, I don't know. I'm thinking Charles Wilson, because that was my grandfather's, from her remarried, when she was remarried. All right, this is what we got. Can y'all think of anything else I should put on here? I think we're good. I don't know if adding any, I like this, because I think that it's not too busy, so you can see. The only other thing is, what about buttons? Should we do any buttons or snaps? Hang on. I like how I put this little container in here. Lots of hook and eyes. I could put, I don't know if I want to take these apart or not. Boy, it's really on there. I had a whole bunch of snaps somewhere. Some of these buttons aren't quite so old. Peace Good Shops. That's that's not that old. That might be from my own stuff. All right, so should we call it a day? I'll look through the buttons and see if I have any really fun buttons that stand out. Other than that, I think this is it. I think this is what we got, y'all. So thanks for joining me. And I will get this hung up. I'm going to hang it up on the wall over here next to my craft desk, so that I can see it when I'm crafting. All right, I love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Happy Friday. And I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs. Please follow my page if you're not, and share me out there. And this was fun. All right, so another checklist off the books, because I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So I got that done. The other thing I have on my list is I have an old telephone that, oh, thanks, Tammy. I'm sending you a hug, too. I have an old telephone, an old black phone, table phone, with a rotary dial on it that I want to make for my sister that has, you know, kind of a 60s theme on it. So that's on the table, and I've got to, I've got to get the right either fabric or decoupage paper to do it with. She's a hippie for Jesus. And anyway, so that's something that's coming up. And the other thing that I want to do is I promised my son Christmas before last that I would paint a pair of Vans for him. He's a LA Dodgers fan. So I want to do something with LA Dodger colors and checks, and I'm not sure about where that is. So that's another thing that's kind of in the back of my mind. I think the next thing that I'm going to do is Tammy, I still have your hat. I've got it packaged. I've got to weigh it, and I'll let you know as soon as and the earrings are in there too. As soon as I get it weighed, I'll let you know how much the shipping is. But I move pretty slow because physically I'm not able to move very fast. But so I want you to know I have not forgotten you. Hey, Shantae, look what we made. This is a two-part project. These are all sewing notions and threads and stuff from my grandmother that I got 27 years ago, stuff that's been sitting in bins. And who knows, I could probably make several of these wreaths with all the stuff. And it seems like the more I use, the more I have. And it shouldn't work that way, but that's kind of how it's working. So these are all wooden spools, threads that my grandmother had. And anyway, so I turned it into a wreath. It's going to be in my crafting. One last thing that I have thought about is that, whoops, I got to turn it this way. It goes this way. I have thought if I could find a clock that goes in the middle here, that I may turn this into a clock. But if I can find the, thanks, Shantae. If I can find the right size clock, I'll put a clock behind here, and I think that would be really cool. But I haven't found the right size clock, but I just thought that would be fun. All right, y'all. I'm going to sign off, and let's see. I guess I won't be back on again. I've been talking. Well, you'll have to go back and hear some of the stories that I told about the last time I saw my grandmother. And anyway, it was a good last time we saw her. And but anyway, I got all of her sewing stuff, all of her clothes that I wanted, because she was my body type is identical to my grandmother's, and I did not know it until after she'd gone home to be with the Lord. So, all right, y'all, thanks for hanging out with me. This has been fun, and I love y'all. Jesus loves you more. And I think the next time I'm on is Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So y'all have a great night and a wonderful weekend. Thanks for hanging with me, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye, y'all.